Hey guys, Defying Freedom here with the Gundam model view of the new Master Grade 00 Riser. And as you can see, it is a awesome looking Master Grade. Lots of detail, all that jazz you would expect from a Master Grade from 2011. It does use a lot of the inner frame from the Quanta, primarily the feet, the knees, upper thigh, waist, except for the skirt armor, the shoulder joints, the arms except for the armor, and that's about it for the Quantus frame in the Double Riser. Everything else is completely new to the Riser, or Double Gundam, whatever form this, whatever. Very impressive, lots of nice color, traditional Gundam blue, red, yellow, and white. Nice clear green for the knees, wrist, elbow. And inside the GN drive, side the head, the sticker there. Everywhere you see a green piece, the knee, wrist, and elbows, they all have foil stickers underneath them, so they show through really nice. Problem with the clear pieces on the knees is the same as the Quanta. They will fall out unless you leave a little bit of the nub in there. Thank you, clock. It is 1:30, just to let you guys know, in the morning. Unless you leave enough of a nub on the clear part to give it friction to stay into the piece, it will fall out. Because right now, if I didn't glue this, it'll only be held on by this piece here, and it is quite flimsy because it uses the same kind of connection as the Quanta. And that being said, some of the joints are a little bit tighter than the Quantas, probably only because of the new inner frame for the lower leg. But most of the joint pieces are the same for the Quanta, so it's just the inner frame on the lower leg that makes it better. Because the Quanta's armor was loose just before the quantum burst gimmick it had, which it didn't say in the manual, but that's for a later review. Let's get into articulation. Head is on a triple joint, just like the Perfect Grade. Bottom is a hinge, so it can go forwards and back. And then on a peg, which lets it rotate all the way around, if you're careful. And another hinge at the top of the neck, which lets the head move side to side. So lots of mobility there for no ball joint. Let's get the backpack out of the way a bit. Shoulders can move. No, wrong order. Torso. Torso can move side to side at the top joint inside the chest, very far. And when you get it all the way to one side, it kind of clicks into place. Let's hear it. Then it moves forward and back, and then it's on a ball joint, so it can rotate all the way around if you don't pop off the skirt armor. It's still got the same connection as the Quanta, so skirt armor does do that, same as the Quanta. But on the Perfect Grade, the side skirts aren't as close to the chest as they are on the Master Grade. They're a little bit further out to the side. Then you have an opening cockpit. Just gently pull this white piece down, and if you can get your fingernail in there, you can lift that gray panel up to see a tiny little Setsuna in there. There's that. Okay, now onto the shoulder. Shoulder moves back and forth, but if you pull it out a bit, same shoulder joint as the Quanta lets you move this armor piece out of the way. So more mobility to the shoulder. And you can move it up too, but it is limited by the backpack and the head. And you can get straight down like that. Arms will rotate 360 if the binder wasn't in the way, so there we go. Arms can go out that far, and with that shoulder joint even further, but there's a lot of stuff in the way for that. Rotation below the shoulder. Arms are on a double joint. Rotation at the elbow itself, that should get about 90, and backwards a bit. Then lower joint gets you that much. Then you have a wrist joint, which lets you move it up and down. And the wrist joint lets you move up and down. I have to say that the Double Riser and Quanta have the best master grade wrist joints I've ever seen. Wrist moves in and out and rotate until they pop out. Keep a little pressure on it just so you can rotate it. Now you get two sets of hands with the Riser or Double Gundam. You have the original Quanta hands, which I have on the right. Then the Riser hands, which just has a single moving ball joint thumb, and similar to the master grade wing style fingers, you can detach these, which is a gripping palm for, if I could find the left one, I believe there's the left one, pieces for a closed fist. But unfortunately, they fall off really easily on the closed fist, because these are just, they just slide into the grooves in the hand. These grooves right here, but the gripping hand goes into holes right here, so it's a lot more stable. And also you get the peg in the palm for holding weapons. Okay, next. See, skirt armor. Front skirt is on a ball joint, and if you lift it up you can rotate it side to side for the legs when you move them forward a lot. Side skirts are on a ball joint, and you get about there before until you get them popping off. Then the back skirt can move up and down. Yep, yeah, up and down. See, beam sabers on the back, again, they're on a hinge, they move side in and out, but unfortunately there's nothing to stop them, so if you close them too far they end up like that, so you have to be careful with that. The hip joints, you can move them up and down, and you can do them independently, so as you can see one leg is higher than the other. Legs can go out. Rotate this off to the side a bit so I can do this. Go about that far if you pop the side armor off. Forward if you move the front skirt out of the way a lot. Further if you lower the leg, which I will do right here. Backwards a bit if the beam saber's not in the way. Rotate below the hip. Almost 180. Then knee joint, top knee, get that much, 90 degrees, and you get this separating armor piece. And at the lower leg, another 90 degrees. And you can see this part here, it's on a hinge and track, so it moves up and down, whatnot, and it gets out of the way when you bend the lower leg, but you have to manually put it back down after that. See, back of the ankle armor moves out, so does the front. Ankle moves forward and back a lot, not too much to where the ankle pops off. I think the armor is what's causing it it's the actual armor that actually causes this to pop off, so be careful with that. Feet move side to side, and the toe moves up and down. And that does it for articulation on the actual Gundam. For the backpack, you get up and down and in and out. Then you have this the thrusters moves up and down. Then you have this little gimmick here. If you can see this notch right here, if you twist that out, see how it's moving out, and you pull it all the way to the other side, it locks the binder in the upright position. So you can tell the difference there. This is free moving, this one's pretty much static up here. Put this back down. Then the shoulder drive, it's on a peg, so it moves forward all the way. Backwards if you raise it up a bit. If you raise it up too far, it won't go all the way back. And then another locking mechanism for the GN drive. It moves up and down here, but if you put all the way up and slide this out, it locks it up in that position, so it won't go down. Alright. Oh, and then the opening hatch for the O-riser. You actually have to lift the bottom out, then the top bit out, and slide it down. It's a little loose, but there it is. Now, on to the weapons for Double Gundam. You get the two GN Sword 2s. I painted the edges with my Platinum Gundam marker, just to match the perfect grade. Where it doesn't match the perfect grade is the clear green scope on the top. It should be blue. But I can see why they made it green, because they didn't put on an A plate. You get this moving bit here. Handle moves, then the lower handle splits, and to turn in the rifle mode, why did I do that? Yes, see, the rifle mode, you take that in that position, then you pull out the blade, rotate it to the side. It's on the cross peg system. Rotate it to the side and peg it back in. This is a lot more secure than the high grade. The high grade was just friction. This one has a poly cap in the center here for the blade. Also nice detail. Then to put these on the side skirt, you need an adapter. This guy right here. And what you need to do is make sure the green bit is down, and this part is also going to be facing down, I believe. Face. Yeah, the open notch goes down and it clips into place there. Then on the side skirts, which I will rip off, you take this panel, it's pegged into the top here, you just lower it down one notch and peg it back in. Peg it in there. There you go. Mount it on the side. Unfortunately, taking that adapter off is a lot harder than putting it on. There goes a beam saber. Because when you take this bit off, more than likely something else is going to come with it. Yeah, see that inner circle there? That one's not supposed to come off. That goes right here. So if you want, you can glue that into place. Just be careful you don't make this static. And let's put this back together. Seeing that the beam saber was so... No, I'll get that in a second. I'll put this in the hand. This one's pretty simple. For sword mode, it goes into the bomb notch. For rifle mode, it goes to the top one. Just show you regular Qantas hand. Just pegs in there, nice and secure. For the new type of hand, for the 00 Gundam, you take those fingers off, get the thumb out of the way, go ahead and peg that in. Said peg in, there you go. Then you put the fingers on. Then put the thumb in place. And putting the thumb in place actually makes a little connection lock so it doesn't fall out to the side, which is nice. Oh, it just unpegged itself again. Peg back in, there you go. So there's 00 Gundam with this 2GN swords. Then for the wow, this review is already 16 minutes long. Sorry for the long review, guys. Gotta get into detail. Thanks for sticking with me though. To put in this DAF mode, you need another adapter. You need this bit. And it just pegs into the bottom of the handles. Very loosely. It's not that loose, but it's flimsy. It's a better word for it. And it gives you another peg in the hand to, okay, it's 145 now. But you just use that in the hand. Don't see much use for it. Okay, now the beam saber. It's pretty much hollow, one piece, two pegs on both either side. Then port here for the beam sabers. You get two clear pink beams, and it fit in just nicely. That's that. Then the I didn't kill anybody, did I? Then you get these two GN shields. They're not the most solid things. They're like high grades. This piece has two pegs. You can peg in either one. Top one looks like that. Bottom one, get this effect. And in this one you can, in this position you can move the blade in and out. Same thing with up here, but actually no, you can't even, yeah, if you pull it out like that, it doesn't match up in these slots like it's supposed to. But they have this flip out peg. This peg goes into the back of the arm, right there, just like that. It's not the best connections, only being held on by a little bit of that peg, not all of it. Then for the actual shield, you put both of these in the lower position, and you flip out one of these pegs on either one, and they peg into each other. If they would peg together, there we go. Like that. Then you peg one of these into the arm. You can also use this same peg to plug into the shoulder drive. You just make sure one with the Celestial Being logo, it goes on the left side of the Gundam, and just pegs into this port here. Yeah, this is taking too long. All these accessories. And they peg on just like that. And they are a little bit loose, especially these. They tend to fall down thanks to gravity. And yep, that's that. Okay, I think that's all the normal accessories for, oh, one more thing. Action base connector goes in the crotch just like any other master grade. Now I'll move on to the light up features of the 00 Gundam. First off, the GN drives. Just secure them from there. Get one LED unit. I just happen to have a whole bunch of other LEDs from my Perfect Grade and 2 ignition mode XES. So if you have those model kits, you can use their lights. Then you rotate the bottom bit, and there you go, lights. And they just go back into the shoulder. You just make sure these 2 narrow pegs, these are 2 wide ones at the top and 2 narrow ones on the bottom, they line up in the slot in the shoulder drives, and they can rotate all the way around. That's useful for the O-riser binders when you get them, or when I get them on. Then for the light up gimmick in the eyes, you have to take off the backpack. Then you get this cover, rotate it to the side to the left a bit, and it'll come loose. Another LED unit in here. Just turn it on from down here. This one's the flickery one. The new ones are better than the older ones, I have to admit. Close that back up. I'll go ahead and get this drive going. I'll show you what it looks like in less light than this. I think the light on the head just shut off, so give me a second. Indeed it did. Get back on. And it shut off. Nope, there. Don't know if you can see it. There it is. Light up eyes. Side light ups a bit, but I put a sticker over there just so you can see detail, but light still comes through there. And a little bit of light, a lot of light back from the back. Light would be coming from the red bit too, but I used a foil sticker to cover that up. Otherwise there'd be a gaping hole in the head. It will get bright. Sorry about that. And I think I'm going to cut this review here and go on to the O-riser after that.